BBC Radio Sheffield, 19 minutes to 6 is the time. Sheffield People's Assembly Against Austerity is holding a conference in the city tomorrow. The former Chesterfield MP Tony Benn is expected to be the main speaker alongside members of trade unions. Dan Marcus is one of the organisers. I've been chatting to him about tomorrow, and I asked him why, when most Western countries are cutting back their budgets, we should be any different here in Britain.
Well, it's not all Western countries are cutting back, and a lot of them are actually investing in their infrastructure and they're doing things that we should be doing as a nation as well. The grander problems in our country could be fixed by an increase in housing, which would entail building more houses, social housing especially, jobs and energy investment.
Yeah, it's a pattern from the past, isn't it? Back in the 30s in the USA it happened there, and people have used that device on occasion since all around the world, haven't they?
Oh, of course, yeah. This isn't new stuff, and it's been proven to work before, whereas austerity's never worked, ever.
Yeah, one of the problems is that we do have a massive debt which people are trying to reduce by as much as possible. I mean, how would you go around resolving that issue?
Well, the Chancellor's right when he says you can't do anything but grow yourself out of a recession, and we're looking to... Everybody wants to get rid of the national debt. It's something that scares people for the future, but we're the 7th richest nation on the planet. This isn't something to be worried about so much right now. Our debt levels are nothing close to what they were when we finished the Second World War, and after that we invested greatly in the nation. We built fantastic institutions like the NHS and put great infrastructure in roads and railways and things out there, and built social housing, and these things gave people jobs and gave people impetus for growth.
What about the fact that Labour Party now looks as if it will not be doing much that's different from the coalition? How do members of the People's Assembly feel about that?
Well, this is why I'm in the People's Assembly now. If I believed there was a political party out there that supported my views or the views of the interests of the nation, really, then I'd be campaigning for them right now. But there isn't anybody supporting us. The current administration and even the previous administration stood up for a very small sector of society, not people in the greater whole.
So what's going to be going on at Saturday's get-together?
From 11 o'clock, we're all at the O2 Academy in the middle of Sheffield. Anybody can come along. It's going to be a fantastic event. We've got some great speakers: Tony Benn, John Rees, who's the anti-war campaigner, and we've also got Marion Nesbitt, who is a bedroom tax campaigner in Scotland.
You are obviously a left-wing organisation. We know what your views are. We know what you want to achieve in the coming years. But you mentioned the fact that you don't have a political party at the moment that looks electable, that's going to represent you and other members of the People's Assembly. Do you believe that ultimately from this organisation, from get-togethers like this in Sheffield, another political party might emerge, or are you looking to change the views of those within the Labour Party?
Well, our aim at the moment is to get people together. There's been a real attack on poor people in this country, and not just sort of the very poorest, the unemployed, but the working poor. It's been a real divide. People have been pitted against each other, whether they be able-bodied or in private business or in public work as well. And it's a real problem because none of these people caused the mess that we're in right now. This was a banking crisis that has been imposed on the people, and we need to get
and
people
other
against...
things as well.
Oh, I'm sure there are other things. I'll be happy to talk about those. This is something that we need to get together and sort out, whether it means pushing forward for supporting strike action for sort of unions and teachers and people who are working, or whether it be supporting other campaigns against things, or pressuring government or even a party like the Labour Party to change their policy.
Dan Marcus there from Sheffield People's Assembly Against Austerity. They get together tomorrow at the O2 Academy for that conference. It starts at 11 o'clock. You can find out more details from their website. Just put in a search for People's Assembly Sheffield.